Welcome back to Nexus Tech. You know, it's funny, sometimes to understand a massive industry, you don't need to look at a whole year. You just need to look at a single day. Today we're doing exactly that. We're hitting pause on November 8th, 2025 to take a snapshot of the entire gaming world. And what it shows us is a pretty incredible story about where gaming is right now, where it came from, and where it's desperately trying to go.
So what can one random day really tell us? Well, it turns out November 8th was this perfect storm, a collision of three huge forces: the absolute razor's edge competition of the present, the incredible pull of the past, and the unbelievably high-stakes bets being made on the future. Let's start with what was happening in the here and now.
First up, the present. This is where the action is happening live. The pressure is on, and the stakes could not be higher. On this day, the entire esports world really had its eyes locked on one single place.
And that place was Munich, Germany. This was the kickoff for the BLAST R6 Major, which, if you follow the scene, you know is the top-tier global tournament for Rainbow Six Siege. This wasn't just any old match. This was the start of the grueling Swiss stage, where the best teams on the planet start their battle for the championship. And when I say the best, I really mean it. We're talking 16 of the most elite teams from 5 different regions around the globe, all converging on the BMW Park Arena. This is the absolute summit of tactical shooter skill, and it was all happening in real time.
But let's look at what was really on the line here, because it's so much more than just a trophy. These players are grinding for points to get into the Six Invitational. That's the World Championship. They're fighting for international glory, a coveted spot in the live playoffs, and, of course, the attention of big-name sponsors that keep this whole ecosystem running. For Ubisoft, the publisher, this is how you prove your game is still at the heart of the esports world.
Now, you might be wondering how they even manage a tournament this big in the early days. Well, that's where the Swiss stage format comes in. It's actually a really clever system. Basically, you're always playing against a team with the exact same win-loss record as you. It means more games, a better chance to see who's truly on form, and it allows for some epic comeback stories before they get to the brutal one-and-done playoff bracket.
Okay, so while all that high-stakes action was unfolding in Germany, a completely different but just as powerful force was at play somewhere else. Let's shift gears from the present to the past, because frankly, the gaming industry has gotten scarily good at weaponizing its own history.
On that very same day, Epic Games slammed the big red nostalgia button. They brought back the Fortnite OG Butterfly event, a recreation of one of the most iconic, legendary live moments in the game's entire history, something that first happened way back in 2018.
But here's the thing. This was not just a simple rerun. The original event in 2018, that was a lightning-in-a-bottle moment. It was groundbreaking. This 2025 version, though, it's a calculated business move. It's a strategy designed to pull veteran players back in for that good old days feeling, while also giving millions of newer players a chance to experience a piece of Fortnite lore they missed. The whole community was buzzing, expecting Epic to put a new spin on it.
And just look at the sheer global coordination here. I mean, from the west coast of the US all the way to India, millions of players were logging in at the exact same moment to share this one experience. It's just a perfect example of how gaming has become this massive, simultaneous cultural touchstone for the whole world.
All right, so we've got the present and the past covered. But the conversations on November 8th were also completely dominated by the future. And more specifically, the incredible, crushing weight of expectation and the financial pressure that comes with creating the next blockbuster.
The one story casting a shadow over everything was the fallout from Grand Theft Auto 6 getting its second major delay. Now, the news actually broke a couple of days earlier, but its shockwaves were still the #1 topic of conversation everywhere, from fan forums to the Wall Street Journal.
I mean, just look at this timeline for a second. This is arguably the most anticipated game ever. It was already pushed once, from late 2025 to the middle of 2026. This second delay shoves it all the way to November 19th, 2026. For millions of fans, that is an absolutely agonizingly long wait.
And you bet the market noticed. The parent company, Take-Two Interactive, saw its stock drop 5% in pre-market trading. Just like that, this single number tells you everything about the immediate real-world financial cost of delaying a game with this much hype around it.
Of course, the official line from the CEO was all about quality and polish. This quote right here, this is classic industry PR. It's designed to do two things: reassure frustrated players that the wait will be worth it, and calm down nervous investors who are tired of seeing games launch in a buggy, broken state.
But peel back that layer of PR, and what you see is a masterclass in business strategy. Shifting to late November puts GTA 6 right in the sweet spot for the huge holiday shopping season. It lets them cook up marketing deals with console makers, and it gives Rockstar more time to polish a game that has to follow up its predecessor, which has sold a mind-blowing 220 million copies. The pressure is just unreal.
It's these kinds of massive, complex stories, where the tech, the business, and the culture all crash into each other, that we absolutely love digging into.
So if you enjoy this kind of breakdown and want to stay ahead of the curve on the big moves happening in the industry, well, this is the place to be. Make sure you're subscribed to the Nexus Tech channel so you don't miss what's next.
So, let's pull it all back together. What does this one day, November 8th, 2025, really tell us about the state of gaming?
It shows us this incredible ecosystem being pulled in 3 different directions all at the same time. You have the present, which is this relentless, non-stop grind of elite global competition. Then you have the past, which has become this super valuable asset to be mined for nostalgia. And then there's the future, this terrifying high-wire act of managing decade-long projects, billion-dollar budgets, and sky-high expectations.
All 3 of those forces were on full display on one single Friday. It just goes to show that to really understand gaming today, you can't just look forward. You have to see the intense competition of now, the powerful pull of what was, and the monumental pressure to perfect what's coming next. It really makes you wonder, which of these forces is going to define the next era of gaming? Thanks for watching.